Skip it. Now, there's a great advantage to skipping it, obviously, because then you may then experience something in one way more profound without having to go through this. The difference, though, by going through it, is that it has a profound effect on one's understanding. And we just gave an example of that in fantasy life. You see, when one explores this kind of experience and the conditions for it, you have to be prepared for it. You have to be prepared and able to receive it. You have to become in harmony with it. That means, correspondingly, you have to go through something to appreciate it. This is an experience of the highest kind of beauty. Therefore, any system of that all that considers the luminosity significant, to the degree that it considers it significant, to that degree it has to consider beauty as the cornerstone of its system. It is not possible to have this experience and conceive of anything being more beautiful than that. It is impossible to experience anything higher than that when you are in that. It's impossible to be able to experience that and think that life is worth living if, by the way, you could trade further penetration into that at the cost of your life, you'd gladly do it. Because it is overwhelmingly beautiful, significant, and profound. And Jew, on the highest level, the self. Now, it's even impossible from some experience, therefore, of this to conceive of anything higher.
So you're stuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah, right.
You are stuck there.
Stuck with beauty.
Stuck with beauty. Terrible fate.
Oh. I'd like to just do that.
That's pretty good.
And this is why in Plato's Republic, he says, some people, get into this experience. They don't want to come back down. They just want to stay there, live in the isles of the blessed and enjoy it. Yeah. And, of course, that happens many places. So that, what is it that propels anyone who has this experience to consider anything higher? First, the very thought that there's something higher is absolutely ludicrous to someone who's experienced this. They can't conceive of anything possible, and they're absolutely right. You cannot conceive of anything higher. You cannot picture anything higher. You cannot conceive of anything higher. There's no idea which is higher than that. That's right. There's no experience that's higher than that. That's absolutely right. It seems absolutely amazing, and had in my own world, my own life, practically absolutely astonishing that someone who, having experienced this, could hypothesize something greater. I mean, it's only as if someone landed here and then came down here, that would be easy to see. But to proceed upward, that's really quite astonishing in terms of human experience. That's astonishing. But there is something about that experience, you see, and it comes out in one very interesting thing. And there's a sadness connected with all of this. And that's why the language for this is the language of love. Has to be the language of love. There's a sadness when you separate from the object of beauty. There's necessarily a sadness. You can gain a communion with the object of your love. You can gain it in the most perfect way. But there's going to be a withdrawal. At some point.
There's always a separation in that world. You can't be that for that.
Well, also, death is going to come. Even Even if you know, the only way to go out is both of you go out holding hands if you have a romantic love like that, right? But there must be then a coming down, a separation, and therefore implicit in this is a sadness, a profound sadness that enters in. It's terribly sad, and it's because of that that the person who experiences it begins to think, wait a minute, there could be, perhaps, maybe, and the only way out of it is to recognize that if there is something greater, it can't be an experience. Can't be an experience.
Because experience is temporal, it is.
No, has a beginning, middle, and end. So therefore, if this person goes along and stumbles across someone who says, yeah, well, that was pretty good, had a beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. Ever try to get things that don't have beginning, middle, and end? What? Everything has a beginning, middle, and end. No. It's this next step then that takes in the higher element of philosophy. Through this discussion, you can see that there is a unity, a union, a communion. All of these words suggest a oneness. And now the whole discussion turns around this higher question now. Is it possible that there is such a thing as the one? Not a oneness, a one. Now, I don't know whether this is altogether true, but I've come to it. I think the only people who can reach the idea of the one are people who have a language capable of representing it. Because it's by the intellect using one's intelligence that we can then say, sir, in that experience of oneness, as beatific as it was, doesn't oneness presuppose one? Yeah, but it may only be an idea. Well, it does presuppose a one. Yeah. Therefore, the intelligence can now turn on the difference between one and oneness, oneness, union, unity, communion, and ask a very, very difficult question. And it's the one that is most difficult for people involved in experiences of beauty to face. In the middle of that profound experience, at the heart of it, was there something watching? That's a dirty trick to ask that question. Is there something what? Is there still some sense of, is there still an it that's experiencing it? If it is, you haven't reached it. And that's sad on top of sad. Now we have the person caught. And now they have a pestering thought. Because now that suggests something different. Now they have to now go on the quest of, okay, what do I mean by one? What do I mean by one? What is a one? What is one? Everything is a one. Oh, everything's a one? Yes, everything's a one. Right. Watch is a one. Coffee is a one. This is a one. Functions as a one. Everything's a one. Well,